What if I tell you all the things I've done? That you run away from me. I told her, baby, we all got bags full of shit that we don't want. I can't unpack it for you, baby. She said, what if I die? Will you come in after me? Did you share your plans with me? Told her thinking is I'm wrong. Love will happen when it wants. Know it hurts sometimes, but don't let it go. 'Cause I want you. I want you. I want you. 'Cause I want you.
Happy 2020, everyone. So I just wanted to close out this last vlog talking about some of the things that happened this year. Just a really quick recap, and then also maybe talk about a few things that I really enjoyed this year that I'm very happy about. So this year has been a pretty big change for me overall. It's kind of like a funny year for me in a way where I kind of went through a lot of ups and downs throughout the year. I started off the year in Seattle, and then during May I moved back down, and pretty much every single month except for August I have been on the plane traveling and doing a bunch of stuff. So I saw a lot of new places, which is fantastic. Met a lot of new people, made friends with a lot of, and kind of reconnected with a lot of old friends as well, which is quite wonderful. This year in particular, I kind of visited Stockholm, Copenhagen, London, as well as Thailand, and actually Thailand was this year, so 2020. But last year, I've been to a couple of different new places as well, which is really fantastic. And I think I learned a lot about myself, to be honest. I think there was a period of time where I was pretty unsure about what I want to do overall. I think partially it was because I kind of felt like that I was hitting a point where I didn't feel like I was growing that much anymore as a designer and as a creative. And so I was kind of seeking for like figuring out like, you know, what does this mean for me and what more can I do? So I picked up a couple of new tools like Spark AR and a few things, but I would probably not say that this year has been specifically extremely creative fulfilling to some degree for me. But at the same time, it's like I kind of grew in a lot of different vectors, like kind of understood what I want and things like that. So one of the biggest change in my life is the fact that now I own 100% of this house, which is great. It's a little bit terrifying as becoming an adult, like dealing with like property tax, HOA, maintenance, and all that kind of stuff. But it made me so happy the fact that I get a chance to design my own space, which is quite a magical feeling actually. So just to let you know, this is actually just a stream of consciousness. So it's probably not going to be very well edited to some degree. And then a couple other things as well I noticed is that actually if I was better practiced in terms of how I kind of like take care of myself, like both health-wise, exercise, what I eat, as well as the space that I live in, I'm generally like a lot happier. And when I'm happier, I find that the work that I do is much better. And I think that that's partially also why that I kind of was stuck in a rut at the beginning of the year, was because I didn't really feel like I was at home when I was up in Seattle. And it kind of affected the way that I do my creative work. And now it's getting a lot better, which is fantastic. I also like nurtured a lot more different types of relationship as well. Like in the past, I was very work focused, and I relied a lot on my partner for kind of the social kind of burden. But now I think that I have a pretty good set of people that I can turn to if I need like kind of help or just wanted to chat, which helps a lot as well. So yeah, it's been really good. And overall, I want to talk about a couple of favorite things that I had a chance to experience. One of my absolute favorite meal was actually in Copenhagen. So when I was in Copenhagen, I went to this restaurant that specialized in seafood. recommended by a friend Anna, who I also just recently met in Barcelona. She made that recommendation, and the food there was absolutely phenomenal. I was completely surprised by the combination of flavors that they do there, with some of the sea urchin stuff, with almonds, and then also the bread there was incredible. It was probably the best bread I've ever had in my life with this seaweed with butter. I'll have some photos so that you guys can check it out, obviously. It was really, really wonderful. And it was a very memorable meal. Also, it was the first time for me to visit Copenhagen, so obviously I became more mindful of just how well designed and how beautiful that space is. It was really cold though. That's something that I definitely had to deal with. But yeah, so that was definitely one of my favorite meals. Second favorite thing that I had was actually, I bought this chair from, what's that place called? I'm not sure, but the name of the chair is called Hag Chair. And it's probably one of the best purchases for me because I generally have really bad posture when I do creative work. When I start to work and if I get into the flow, I basically completely lose track of how I'm positioning myself. Like sometimes the biggest tendency for me is that I would lean forward. Some of the engineers that I worked with in the past, they would kind of joke that I kind of smell the screen because I poke my head so close to the screen when I animate or when I model and when I'm doing design work. And it actually puts a lot of strain on my lower back. And I noticed that and I kind of pay for it to some degree. But Hag Chair is really good because the chair is designed in a way where I can adjust my position quite a bit. So I could flip it to the other side. I could basically lean myself towards the backing of the chair as I kind of design so that it actually gives me a little bit more resistance so that I don't go all the way to sniffing to the screen, which is nice. So that's definitely a really great purchase. Another really big thing that I really enjoyed picking back up was actually, well, not picking back up, but just doing video vlogging. Actually doing this whole thing has been really fulfilling for me. One of the big reasons why I started vlogging was because I noticed that in my creative and my 3D work, environments has always been a kind of a challenging place for me. I'm very happy with doing character design and I really enjoy doing it, but I know that I wanted to get better with environmental design and composition. And so I realized that I can't practically, because 3D is not my full-time job. Technical 3D art is not my full-time job. And so I don't really have that much opportunity to practice upon it. But I still want to get better at it. And I was looking for ways to get better at thinking about composition as well as how I frame a subject. And so vlogging kind of became my practice ground because it's really easy to just take out a camera and shoot compared to having to build everything from scratch in 3D. And this year in particular, I think vlogging is very special because there was a lot of big changes in my life. And so sometimes when I watch some of my older vlogs, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I went to Hawaii for the first time in March with Valve. Or oh yeah, I completely forgot that I was at LA during this time and these are the things that I did. And so there's some really beautiful memories there, and I think that I got a sense of experiencing about how to present an idea and present a story that is not just visual but also have other sensory elements like audio and things like that. So that has been really great. And one of the things, this year, and this was a present, a birthday gift, was the OPZ, and I'm super excited about it because after doing vlog, one of the big things that I noticed is that actually audio has a huge, and I've known this a long time ago because I did do animation work and things like that, but I think sometimes you just don't recognize how important audio is in general for an experience. And I wanted to get better at understanding how to construct music and how do you actually think about creation. And OPZ is kind of the perfect candidate, number one, because it is such a well-designed product and I love teenage engineering. And second of all is the fact that it hooks up into Unity, which I'm really excited to do some motion pieces on Unity using the OPZ while playing the music. So I'm very excited about it. This is going to be my next 2020 art project, which I'm very excited about to try out. Yeah, so I think those are probably some of my favorite things that I've consumed. Oh, there's this one book that I really, really enjoyed. What is it called? It's called Better Than Words. I'm not too sure, but I'll write the book and the author in this video. And also link it in the description box. And that one was particularly fascinating because I think it has to do a lot with simulation theory, and then like how, in relation to how our brain actually works and the tie that it has to language. I think a lot about that, mostly because, you know, I personally, when I switch language, so I speak Japanese, Chinese, Cantonese, Mandarin, and also English, and find that when I switch context and when I have to switch language, the way that I think, the way that I frame the problem, and the way that I kind of digest information is definitely different. And obviously language is a tool, but as we all know, tool shapes a lot of the way that we think. And so I think that like it's been really interesting to understand like why I think in a particular way, or why I do certain things through the lens of language. And that has a huge impact on the way that I generally design anyway, so it's kind of neat. It's a really, really neat book. Yeah, so just to talk really quickly about 2020 and where I'm heading. I think there's probably going to be a lot of changes in 2020 again, but hopefully for the better. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this vlog. It's been a really nice journey to get to kind of like document some of the things that I did in 2019. And I'm really excited to see what happens for 2020. So thanks so much, and have a great year ahead.